coming back to haunt you?
There's so much incentive for me to die first.
Could you get your question out, please?
As being part of the Supernatural fandom, you obviously know there are a lot of ships going on in that show.
Are we talking, my father has no idea what you're talking about. So you have to explain the context of, and the concept of shipping. Please explain. Good luck.
Oh, we've got one of those.
Then you have to use it in a sentence.
I ship those two characters.
What?
The sentence is, I ship those two characters.
Ship. S-H-I-P.
The definition.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
Yes. Shipping.
Shipping, and basically it's when you take two uncanon characters who are in a relationship and you say those people would look really good together. And
You're doing what?
She's always for you to give yourself a sign.
Well, they say that. So what they do is they pick two people from the show who aren't actually in a relationship.
or they don't have to be on the show together.
What?
They don't have to be on the show together.
No, they don't have to be on the show together. Two people on the show doesn't mean they're on the show together. Pick two people on the show, one on each, different shows, 4 shows, Prime Minister of England and 17 people from around the television. So they start to write fiction and create worlds around the idea of them having a relationship. And so Destiel, Dean and Castiel.
Oh, yes.
I have been given, you know, velvet pictures of me and Misha Collins in a bar. I think I'm reading to him at that time. I'm either feeding him or reading to him. It's the most extraordinary concept.
So this is not a show you kissed somebody?
No. Well, it is the show that I've kissed several people on, but they're creating sexual relationships between the two people that they're fantasizing about.
And is she complaining?
That's called shipping. I think you're missing the point there. So you've got him all excited.
I just wanted to ask right
Oh, God. Today, you've got some fans, my God, you've got some fans. My fans are safe and so I was only joking.
What's your favorite ship? I mean, we all have one. You obviously have to, right?
Obviously. Crowley Castiel.
Crowley Castiel? No, I don't think so. Let's just say this. Who's seen the promo for the next run of shows on Supernatural? 6 of you. Well done. So, if you look really closely, you'll see how I'm dressed and where I am. So that's the only clue you need for the rest of the season.
So enjoy.
Me in black silk pajamas.
Can you say the iconic Crowley line, Hello Boys?
What?
Could you say the classic Supernatural Crowley line, Hello Boys, for us all?
Hello, boys. Hey. Hiya.
I just wanted to ask, what was your life of childhood?
This may take a while. Hey, well, who you know? No, he sat down because it may take a while. How old are you?
8.
8? I have an 8-year-old too. He asked me questions. I was walking past a jewellery store with my 8-year-old, and we just gone out to go eat sushi, and he's walking on in. And he got to the point at 8 where he was no longer saying things like bazillions and gazillions of dollars. He was actually starting to use numbers. So he was walking past the jewellery store and he goes, I bet Mummy's wedding ring costs thousands. In that tone as well, it's crazy. Thousands. I went, maybe, but it's none of your damn business. Because that's just the kind of father I am. And they're very used to that. If you meet my kids, they're kind of like, yeah. You go, where's mommy? I'm like, Belgium.
He gets this from his mother.
My 14-year-old is over there. Stand on, mate. Say hi.
Go on,
That's
mate.
my 14-year-old. He'll attest to the fact that William is very like this, right? Your little brother. So we're walking past the jewelry store. He goes, I bet mommy's ring costs $1,000. So yeah, none of your damn business. And he said, but it costs more than I could afford. So he goes, wow. He goes, yeah. Love's a big thing. I'm like, you have no idea. My childhood was. You asking about my childhood or his childhood? His childhood, he was fighting dinosaurs. What to do as a caveman.
Your childhood.
Oh, my childhood. My childhood was fun. It was, I don't know, I loved all sorts of stuff. We did all sorts of fun things. I like playing football, soccer to normal people. Your throw ball doesn't make any sense to me. But I like playing football and I love music. Childhood was fun. I was a bit of a dreamer. I wasn't always happy, but that wasn't really anybody's particular fault. Loved telling stories. I became a musician. Started playing music at about 12. Started being a professional musician at about 15. Started making records at about 16 years old. Touring the world, going all over the place since my 20s. Had a few stupid dalliances with drugs and alcohol that just warning you, you're 8. Like, dude, don't. Heroin's not a good path for you.
Sorry, too soon? No, too late.
He's a Firefly fan, you're so.
You see where he gets it from?
But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I had parents that wanted me to sort of be able to be expressively be able to create myself, you know, be able to express myself in a creative manner. And I tried. It was a lot. I didn't really know what I wanted to be, and I was a musician. I was a somewhat successful musician. And then they asked me if I wanted to act, and I was like, no. And then I ended up by accident doing it instead of doing it when I was 17 when I started. I should have done it. I didn't want to do it, and then I was 27, and then I did it, and then it's all sort of been downhill from there. And you know what, dude? There's nothing better in life. What am I? Nearly 50 years old. I'll be 50 years old this year, right? 50 years old. I'm nearly 50 years old, right? Dead serious. Dead serious. They asked me to do Doctor Who. They said, do you want to play like James Bond on Doctor Who? I'm like, yes! I have the coolest job in the world. You know that? I have the coolest job in the world. They pay me to do stuff that you do in the playground.
I'm going to go on my first date.
What do you say? Where are you going on your first date? Come back here!
Wait, come on, right?
She's not going anywhere.
Come on. You got a passion.
Yeah.
Come on.
Where are you going on your first date?
Paris, France.
Have you got it organised? No, seriously, are you organised?
How are you going to get there?
Well, I've got a girlfriend for a start.
Okay.
It's a good start. Is she French?
No, she's American, like me.
How old is she?
She's about 9.5.
Older women always hit.
Max, what, you got any advice about older women? No? Go for it, kid. Go for it. It's good. So you're going to Paris, France. Have you got any plans as to when you're going?
No.
One thing, have you asked her yet? I see a slight flaw in the plan. I'll tell you what, do me a favor. When you've gone to Paris, France on your first date, we all want to know about you. You have to come back to California next year and let us know how it went, right? Okay?
About when I'm 23.
Okay, so only back in 15 years. I might not be alive by then.
Oh, shut up, please. I know he's rolling on, but that's something.
Breaking his heart. Still going. I used to walk like that. It's wonderful.
I don't know how to top this, but being sort of like the, I don't know how to say the TV equivalent of Kevin Bacon, you know, 6 degrees, you're everywhere.
I'm a bad guitar player.
He's got like practically nearly every show. He's Doctor Who.
No, it just feels that way.
Well, have you had an interest in appearing in these shows? Castle, Law and Order, and well, I just saw this Sherlock. Shipping base.
Stephen Moffat. It's like, God, your fans, they just won't leave me alone. And don't they know I don't work that way? I don't like, oh, let's write something for Mark. It's like he writes stuff and then thinks of who to do it, which is fabulous. It's his way of doing it. But he's like, it's constantly being bombarded, week in, week out, year in, year out. Like people go, you know, Mark Sheppard would be really good. And all it is you like just want to be able to say, super who lot. Nothing to do with my career. Nothing to do with me. It's like, I just, super who lot, yes. You know, I basically, I have made it very, very clear to both Stephen and the wonderful Mark Gatiss that I would pretty much sweep the floor on that show. An opportunity to be on that at any point. So they're very aware.
I'll drive him to the appointment.
Don't drive me there. Yeah. I didn't say that, right? You haven't seen me, right?
What about the other shows that I mentioned?
Oh, I'm not going through the list. Trust me. They have to ask me to do Castle. That's, you know, I love Nathan. Nathan's like one of my favourite people in the world. Yeah, if they ask me, I'll go do Castle. There's so many great shows to be on, you know? Right now, I've been lucky enough to be on a show I'm really enjoying. I did some real fun stuff this year. Some of which you don't know I'm on yet, which will come up in April. You'll find out. Something that I did will come up in April. Plus, you know I lie about this stuff anyway, right? Always. Come on.
Hello.
Hi.
This is a white collar related question.
He is the prettiest man in the world. He really is. I mean, Matt Bomer is the prettiest man in the world. So, yeah, you know you're the prettiest man in the world. So, yeah.
It was kind of a two-part question. The first part
With any
was...
follow-up questions after that?
Maybe.
In a written sense?
Oh, definitely. The first part of the question is, what was your experience in white collar? Did you enjoy it? And were you disappointed to be killed off?
No. Thanks for spoiling it for everyone who didn't see it. You don't have to watch it now, do you? He sees those people.
Sorry.
5 minutes? Oh, God. We should do this for another 3 days. I promise we'll do more. Next Galley, I'll make sure we do more. If you invite me back. Fantastic, wonderful, great experience. They already planned to bring me back after 5 years for the reboot of it, and I knew what was going to happen. It was a great show. If you haven't seen this season, it's actually really good. It's a great show. Fun to do. The Who convention, for God's sake. Anyone got any questions for my dad?
Yes.
Please do.
Okay, but I wanted to preface it by saying I only realized this when I was walking up here, but despite appearances, I am not dressed as a supernatural character. I'm actually supposed to be Bernie Summerfield.
I thought you came as Columbo. Same thing as Castiel.
Also, very quickly, Mark,
Baby
I've
in
been
the
a fan
trench
since
coat.
The X-Files. I've been a fan since the X-Files.
Thank you.
My question is for your dad. I guess it's going to have to be a short story because of the time crunch, but I wanted to know if you could share a little bit about your experience in Babylon 5.
What the hell was that?
I was wondering if you could share a vignette or a memory or something about your experience on Babylon 5.
Okay. Well, Mira Fowler was wonderful to work with. I'll tell you what happened. Straczynski looked at me and he said at the reading, "You got any ideas?" And I said, "Yeah, I've always wanted to know where aliens keep their emotions." Well, I've been married for over 40 years then, and I'm still trying to work things out, with aliens and those, women and things. And I said, "Where do aliens keep their emotions?" And that was the joke that Shatner had in Star Trek 6, right? If anybody remembers. Somebody got kicked in the knees, just not everybody keeps their genitals in the same place. So, I decided that the thing to look for was a tone. And I loved doing it because they let me do it. And it was a musical tone in the creature's voice. And it was a lovely opportunity to do something very creatively different.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who here saw Babylon 5? If you haven't, it's one of the, like Battlestar, it's one of the few series that actually has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's actually worth watching for that reason, if nothing else, right? It's kind of brilliant. Somebody get that, will
Mark, my question's for you. If you were playing something other than a demon on Supernatural, what